Hey there, folks. Welcome to Wrench, Ride, and Repeat. Today, we are finally going to do the big job, and we're going to pull the engine out of Raven. I got a couple cameras set up around the room, and we're going to get a couple different shots. It's going to take a little while. There's going to be a lot of both sides back and forth against the bike, around and around and around. And so I got an overhead camera going, and I got a long-distance camera going, and I got me on this camera where you'll see right up front what I'm doing. So hang out. This is going to be a little while, so hang out, and we'll see what we can get done. Thanks for watching. I'm going to start by taking the floorboards off. I've kind of planned this over around and around in my head a bunch of times, and I hope I got what I need here. So I need a little ratchet and a little 7/16 guy. That'd be good. Okay. I think they're 7/16. They're normally 7/16. All right. So the plan of attack is going to be to take the floorboards off. Use all the nuts and bolts and washers. And then I think we're going to take the carburetor off. And then we're going to work on that exhaust. That exhaust is going to take a bit. You know, there's no doubt about it. In the meantime, I think I probably should start getting the fluids drained, huh? So let me put these back here. A wise buddy of mine, Twitch, taught me that one time. So put your nuts and bolts back where you took them off of so you don't lose them, which makes total sense. Put all this back together. Okay, there's one floorboard. I'm going to go with the stool here. Do the other floorboard. This is kind of all, you know, you got to do it by feel. I'm not getting down on the floor just to look underneath these suckers. Now that's a smaller one. Is that a smaller one too? Yeah. Those are 3/8. So they're 7/16 on one side and 3/8 on the other. And I don't have my 3/8 on me. So let's try this. And just in case we need it, I'll grab the socket too. This has been a long time coming. I know I've talked a lot about it on the channel lots of times, and just really haven't got into it yet. No harm, no foul. This guy was clicking and clacking pretty bad. Got no oil pressure. And I checked the pump, and I did some online troubleshooting. Holy crap, Batman. Let's just do this. There we go. My buddy Bob will be over later to help us out. Maybe run some camera shots for us. This one didn't have any washers at all on it, and it does not want to come out of that. Okay, there we go. We're going to pull that carburetor off. So I'm going to loosen the lines up here. Okay. To do any of that, we need to take the stuff off the other side. So here we go. Back around the other side. I thought they were 5/8. I'll do both of these. We can pull some spark plug wires. I haven't pulled an engine, in years. Years and years. Probably the last time I pulled an engine was the time I pulled the engine out of this to fix it, to put it in gray, and pulled Gray's engine. All right, there's one out. And I'm going to put a plug, just run a couple threads in here. I don't like those being open. You drop a nut or a washer or something down in there, you're in a world of hurt. You know what, folks? It's a tad warm in here. I'm going to open up the big door real quick. Hey, look at that. More motorcycles. Huh, how about that? Hi up there. I mentioned that I've done this before in about 3 hours. I'm not racing to do this. I'm just kind of doing it. You think it's this one? Let's try it. Hey, it's that one. All right. Let's loosen that one. Oh, good. That's all the way out. And that's all the way out. Okay. You stay in there. Good. This guy's got the spring, and I'm sure I'm going to get residual gas out of this tank, or out of this carb. There's that. Okay. Carb is off, and yeah, I'm getting gas out of the overflow. So I'm going to stick him in the carburetor box as soon as I dump all the gas out. Holy moly. So I just let that carb sit outside. They don't always just drain right out. That's all the carb stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get these passenger boards because they're going to have to come off. And I think the next thing in line is draining the fluids. You definitely want to get that going. That might take a little bit. You know, everything takes some time to. Hey, that one came right off. All right. More floorboards in the box. Come on, buddy. Ah. All right. There we go. Okay. That's a bit off. Very off. Let's see if we can do this here. Yeah, if you can get most of it, you know, you're in good shape. Otherwise, it just drips down all over everything. There we go. Pull that plug. Now we get some flow. And then we'll go do the primary. And probably not going to pull that oil filter just yet, but we are going to pull it. Then we can take the heat shields off. We'll start pulling the exhaust. You got to pull the oil lines. Got to pull the primary off. Pull the chain out and the clutch assembly. You don't have to pull the inner primary off necessarily, but you do have to pull the outer and pull the clutch and the compensator off so you can get to the engine bolts on the inside and get that engine to pull off. So drain in here, still draining. All right, while this is draining, take a break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to let that drain as much as I can. All right, that's good. That's enough. All right. Whoop. Excuse the sound effects. That's what I do. Told you no singing, but there are sound effects. Oh boy. Okay, I forgot something here. So to get to this primary off, get to this primary to drain, I'm going to have to get it down off this jack stand. You know what I mean? If this thing fell over right now, it'd make a tremendous crash and mess. All right, so the bike is solid, strapped down. I think I'm going to take this jack out. Now there could be a quarter primary fluid in here, there could be no primary fluid in here. Your guess is as good as mine. I wish I could play music while I did this, but YouTube doesn't like copyright problems. All right, so we got a pretty good drain. I guess it had a good cord in it. Look how clean that is, because, you know, I put this engine in and I got it started, and then we had problems, and then we let it sit. And so this is probably brand new clean primary fluid that I never changed. Okay, well, that's draining. We'll might as well just start pulling the primary here. You're gonna get a lot. These aren't even tight. So I think you've seen this before. So on some of the old bikes, like the old Ironhead, these screws aren't all the same length. So by having a cardboard, you put them in kind of in the diagram of the shape of what it is. And then you plug your screws in there Just like that. And they all go right back where you pulled them out of. Simple, huh? It's actually a gorgeous day here for October 4th in central PA. Here people out there getting their one last grass cut in, I'm sure, before the snow flies. Take the top ones out first. And then I got to prep that table, put some pig rags down because oil will come out everywhere. Because we're sitting level. And so we're not going to get all the oil to the back of the primary to get it to drain. But that's okay. Down over here. Oh, I'd really like to know where that Allen socket. Oh, you know, ding dong. Whole set of these I could have used. Oh, Aaron, you don't think sometimes. So they're all out. Now, is this primary gonna come off? Yes! Holy shit, there's a lot of oil still left in there. Okay. Okay, all right, all right. Oh, oil everywhere. Oh, let's get you over there under the mess. I'm just gonna go set this over here out of the way. All right. Little mess, you know, this is gonna be a messy job, there's no doubt about it. And yeah, we'll just get this all out as much as we can. It's going to drip and drain there for a while. So there we go. All right, let's get this out of the way. Washer so we don't lose it. Don't want to lose that guy. It's a messy job. Ah, I sang. Damn it. No singing. I think that's pretty good. It's going to drip and seep and leak a little bit as we move along. That can go in there for now. That rag's shut. But I got a ton of them. Okay. So we let that drip drain for a while. Back on the tool bench where I need it most. All right, well, let's circle around and try and start on that exhaust, huh? So let's slide back around. Grab a 5/8 wrench. And I'll grab the stool. And all you fine people, it's still warm as the dickens in here. More on the bike and less on me. Oh. Like I said, sorry for all the sniffles. I'm still getting over this sinus infection I had. All right, nice and easy. Get that out of the way. Let's just get that out of the way. And then there's a nut on there too. Or a washer, I'm sorry. Back to the back here. And we'll do the same. What's the time, everybody? What's the time? Watch says, or camera says, 52 minutes. I think I'm on par. Wonderful. Okay. So, is this muffler gonna? Oh, I love it when things you want them to. These things bind and then they kink. There it comes. There it is. Okay. Now I got to get that other side off. Hey, it fell off. All right, now play nice. Woohoo! The header is off. We're good to go. Set him out of the way over here. I'm happy. Put the hammer down here. Ugh, that was a bad mistake. All right, folks, just kind of rearrange here. Let's take 10. All right, so after a short break, I wanted to kind of catch up where we're at. We got the exhaust headers off, we got the carburetor off, of course, floorboards, all that fun stuff. And we'll come around the other side here. And now we're into the primary. So in about an hour, I got all that done. And then this is kind of the more complicated part. We're going to get some impact tools out and pull that clutch hub and the compensator. So stick around. Here we go. Okay, so we're ready to go. I got the overhead camera running. I got chest camera here. This is the first time we're trying to use this, so we'll see how that goes. And we're going to dive into this primary right now. And all right, so we got the got that plate out. I'm not sure why it was sticking so bad. And then you need a 1 1/8 socket, and the nut on the inside here is reverse thread. So we're on put on, and that should be coming off. I wonder if somebody locked that sucker on there. And of course, it wants to roll the engine over, and I have locks for it. Holy moly! You know what? I think we're going to break out the air compressor for this one. All right, and we're going forward. Yeah, it's coming out. There we go. Ouch! A little hot. I think somebody must have had some thread lock on it. All right, now we got to go big. Okay. Very dirty job. Shut that noise off for now. All right, that doesn't move. All right, are you loose? No. Leave that in there. Compensator. All right, that guy will come off. And then I got to remember how I get that off of there. Okay, so I got my makeshift puller off here. It's been a while since I've done this, so I wasn't sure if it went up here, and it was just wrong. So I think we got it this time, so let's give it a try, see if we can get that clutch hub to pop off. And already off. That's all it took, was that one little bump. So that's good there. Pull these guys off. It all goes back in the kit. And we'll undo these guys. And then I do need these to pull them out. And then the whole thing just pops right out there. So excuse me. Set that over there. So from here, we need to push all these tabs back. These two bolt to the engine. 1, 2 over here bolt to the transmission. And since we're not pulling the inner primary, we're going to inspect it. That's nasty. We'll clean all that out at a later date. Get the tools out of the grease and oil. All right. That there. So now I needed a bigger screwdriver. See my mallet anywhere? Oh, it's under. These are safety tabs, and they are very important. So can you get down in here, Bob? I don't know if I can get in here. But they have these little tabs so they don't spin, right? This is square behind it, and these don't spin. And then this guy goes over this bolt. I've had one of these bolts back out before. I don't know how, bouncing around in there and got caught up between the front sprocket and the chain and snapped that chain. Bam, just like that. So it's very important that you get these in here and get them locked. And then when we go to put this together someday, we'll replace those. So once you bend them in and bend them out, that's it. Should replace them. I had screwdrivers right there. All right, that's good enough for now. And then I need to, this is the fun part. Where is that offset screwdriver? There it is. Okay, so this guy, where were those Allen wrenches, Bob? Ah, hiding behind the screwdrivers. Now this guy is magnetic. He's your stator, and he's stuck on there good. So you got to get in here behind him. Let's try this way. Give him a wiggle. Because it's magnetically stuck to the stator. There we go. Okay. Inspect our rotor. This bike was charging, so yeah, it looks good. The magnets are still all solid in there. Nothing chewed up. Stator looks new. I'm liking it. That goes, remember, that goes on the outside. We'll just set him there. Okay. Now we're ready to undo these bolts. So there's two on the outside, one here and one here. I thought there were two more, and two on the inside. So let's take these four out, and then we'll undo the engine screws or engine bolts. We should be good to go. All right, let's give her a pause. All right, so we got everything off. I got the rotor off, and I broke these four bolts. So we're going to pull these four bolts. And I should put these in my key card because they're not all the same size. All right, this top one here. And this bottom one here, if you won't let me get onto it. Nope. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Sort of. They're here for all the fun. All right, so now the inner primary is unbolted from the engine. Now it's time to undo the engine bolts. Let's go ahead and take a pause. So now we're down to the engine bolts. As I was explaining to Bob a minute ago, the transmission swivels back here, and the engine sits like this on the transmission plate. All right, this is the transmission, this is the engine. Sits like this, the bolts go down through and screw into the transmission plate. So there's no nuts, just very long bolts. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? This engine ain't going anywhere till we take the oil lines off. But we can at least take these out for the moment, and I'll stop. Very, very long bolts. I think it's coming out now. All right, that's still in there pretty good. And then the front one does have a nut on the bottom of it. You got to kind of finagle a wrench in there and get on this sucker. I think I'm going to grab an extension real quick. There, it's starting to go. There we go. Now we can get a wrench on it. I think maybe, can we do that? No, there's not enough room there. Okay. Now, I'm glad everybody can be in the way here. Aha. There we go. That's finger tight. Hey, all right. You think this is fun getting these out? Wait till you try and put them back in. There's one right in the oil. And let me finish getting this rear one out. I don't want to jam my socket in there, so I grab my ratchet. All right, there's a rear engine mount bolt. So now I'm going to go do the other side. And before that, let's do those oil lines. Let me grab a screwdriver. and a pair of pliers. There's that one. There's that one. And then the vent. Good enough. There we go. That's going to dribble some oil. There we go. All right. And then when we get this all torn out, get the engine out of there, I'll trace those oil lines down and I'll mark them green and red for flow and feed and return. Okay, so now we can go back to the other side. Finish taking those engine bolts out because the timing cover stays. This cone stays. Okay. And I was just in here setting this timing 2 weeks ago. Pull that out. I'll tell you, having a shop table is a godsend. I did this stuff on a regular table, bike jack for years, and it's not fun. Okay, so I'm done with that one. Bob, remember that time we stripped that one out? Yeah. So just like the primary cover bolts, the key to keep all your screws straight, because these are different lengths, I know for a fact. Yeah, when I did all this engine swapping, this cone stayed on the bike, and then I just moved the engine in and out. So there's that. All right, that's everybody. Now, to try and get this off here without gasket face, I should say, what you want to do is just give it a knock around. And, yep, there it goes. Okay, so, I just remembered I need to get this out of the way. This is your gear case. There's oil under it. Yeah, see, there's oil already running out there. So we got that. Okay. And then I need a soft wedge, maybe 2. Trick is, and it really won't matter because this engine's all coming out, is to not pull the cam out with it. That would be super great. See if I can get up underneath here at all. Come on, cam. All right, there we go. So that'll just hang there like that. Make sure that stays on the breather. Yeah, this engine's hardly run at all. There's fresh grease I put in there when I put it all together. All right, what I maybe should do. Nah, it's not going anywhere. Okay, let's get that those other engine bolts off the other side. And this sucker's ready to come out. Just a slow process because it's a long, fine thread bolt. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I can't get my... No, keep going. Oh, yeah, it's stuck, yeah. Hang in there, folks. We're almost done. Almost done. Here it comes. There it is. Oop. Washer. That's fine. And this guy up front here, we need to get under him. With the wrench. Now, that tells me there's a little torque on that engine. That bolt doesn't just want to pop out like that. So that goes on there. Engine bolt for the back. That's all inner primary. Okay, so the engine is loose, right? I think I'll tighten this bike down a little bit. Wait, I still don't like that, but it's tight. It's not going anywhere. Shop stool. Yeah, that would probably be good. All right, let's see if we can get her out here. It's been a while. I'm gonna take my camera out. There we go. It's been a while. Come on, what am I doing here? It's got to come out. Oh, all right. I think I know what I got to do. I thought I could just get it out. I thought it would just roll out, but it's hanging on something. Is it hanging on that? No. Come on, dirty dog. Oh. All right, folks. That was a little harrowing, and unfortunately, Bob was helping me try to wrestle the engine out of the bike, so we didn't get any video of that. But it's out, and that's what we're left with. You zoom out here a little bit. Big open hole in the middle of the bike. So we got it out. We put it on my little shop stool. We wheeled it over here, and it was a little tricky getting out. You really had to wrestle around on it. So here's the other side, the inner primary. So that's it, folks. We're gonna clean up all the tools and clean up all the oil mess, and get this bike off this table, and then we'll see where we go. It ain't gonna be today, but that's an engine out of a Harley. So here we go. Okay, folks, there you have it. It was a little over 3 hours, and I called about 3 hours. So, but I took a break, and Bob come over, and we're bullshitting and screwing around, and then there's always regular delays. So there it is. Engine's out. Part 2 is going to be getting old gray in here and doing the same thing to it. So stand by. Part 2 is coming up. As always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Wrench, Ride, and Repeat.